The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
And there was a rabbi whose name was Rabbi Tzvi Kinslicher. He was a great rabbi. He lived in Romania. And during his time there, he started developing, right before Passover, an incredibly painful stomach disorder. And he was in so much pain that right before the holiday, he went to the doctor. And the doctor takes one look, they look at his stomach and they say, your problem is so serious. If we don't operate, and even if we do operate, we don't even know if we can save your life. It's such a serious operation. He begs them, he says, please, I know that you have to do this surgery, but I have Pesach, it's tomorrow. Can I go home for the holiday and I'll come right back after the Seder's and then you could do the surgery. The doctors confer with each other, they agree, and they make a condition. The only thing you're allowed to eat is milk and this and that. They give him a list of a few things he's allowed to have. Obviously not on that list, matzah. He gets home, it's the night of the Seder, and he can't help himself. He's like, I'm not going to not eat matzah. So he takes his matzah and he soaks it in the milk so it's soft. Right? Even though he's not eating meat that night because he's having it with milk, he soaks it in milk so it's soft and he eats the amount of matzah that he has. And even though he's in incredible pain the whole Pesach, he realizes that eating the matzah actually doesn't bring him any more pain. It's the same level. His pain is intense, but it doesn't change. It doesn't get more with the matzah. He eats this matzah and he goes to shul the next morning. And he stands in front of his kehillah and he gives them what effectively is a farewell address. He says to them, it's been the greatest honor of my life to be the rabbi of this community. I want to thank you for having me. I want to beg your forgiveness if I did anything wrong. Tomorrow I'm going to be going into this very difficult surgery. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Please, please, please have me in your prayers, etc., etc. And the people are so moved. Everyone's crying. They're all, behind their rabbi. They're with their rabbi to go through this battle. And the holiday ends and he goes back to the hospital and they wheel him into the surgery. And the doctor wheels him, comes into the room after they do the tests, and he says to him, I know you told me that you asked me to wait till after the holiday. He says, but I didn't expect, which doctor did you go see after you saw me? He says, I didn't see anybody. He says, it's impossible. He says, why? He says, I'm looking, and we can't, we want to do the surgery, but the problem that we need to operate, we don't see it anymore. What did you do? Who did you go to? What did they give you? And he says, nothing. I can't tell you there was nothing. I promise. He says, the only thing I did that I didn't listen to you is he says, I'm sorry. Is they said, I had some of the matzah that I'm supposed to have. I dipped it in the milk. I had it on the night of the Seder. And the doctor, who's a Jewish man, he says to him, he says, Rabbi, he says, our abilities are limited, but his are not. That is michlad asvata. Every year the rabbi would tell this story over. The power of the bread of faith, healing element of what faith brings to somebody in their darkest times. It could light up everything. Every person looks at something and thinks to themselves at some stage in their life, this is so impossible, even God can't solve it. Has that ever crossed your mind? There's a disease, there's no cure. Now what? The doctor tells you, take them home, make them as painless as possible. What do? Nothing to do. But every Shabbat we say, Boreh Refuot. We sing, God, He doesn't give healing. He doesn't heal. He creates new medicines, new modalities of healing. My friends, you understand what that means. Whatever it is that's ailing you, whatever is darkening your world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu can brighten it up.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org